live one more time. We are back. We are the Trauma Guys. I am Lee. This is...
I'm Fayaz.
And we are still part of the Social Distancing Network.
We are.
Doing our best to bring you whatever we can from our home bases.
Like the Home Shopping Network. But we're not selling you anything. But we're not anywhere near you either. Yeah, or each other. Well, my dog is pretty close to me right now, but I don't think animals can catch it. Anyway,
that's a lie.
That's a lie.
Yeah, there's tigers in the zoo, and a couple of tigers and a couple of lions in like New York Zoo or something that got it. So,
really?
Yep. Check the news.
Not from a human being, they didn't.
Well, they got it. If you think about it, it did come from an animal.
Did you see that thing that I sent you?
Why are we talking about this right now?
I don't know. Did you see that thing I sent you? You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, they're saying it was a man-made thing over there. They're not saying that this really came from bats.
Okay, but we'll talk about that later.
But that's not what we got on here to talk about.
That's not what we're going here for. No.
But this is what we do.
Yeah.
We run off on
sometimes
tangents.
we run off on a tangent, guys. We apologize for that.
But that's okay.
All right.
Yeah.
We are here to talk today about Ronda Rousey, the Ronda Rousey herself. She kind of stuck her foot in her mouth, or her fingers in her mouth.
Ronda Rowdy, whatever, dude. Yeah. Ronda Rousey. Hey, listen, it was awesome, and she built herself up. She did all this stuff. Listen, man. I read what she said. And, on one hand, it does make logical sense, but on the other hand, she can't really call it fake. And I get it, yeah, it's you could call it fake fighting. Okay, all right, we can call it that. But what they put their bodies through as far as the pain is concerned, and even if it's choreographed and it's worked, the bumps, the slams, just everything that those guys do, right? It's basically action theater all the time, right? Mm-hmm. Whether you like it or not, right? You got to appreciate wrestling for what it is, because that's what it is. Mm-hmm. It's not. You're right. It's not fighting, but nobody ever said that it was. And I don't know what her fans have been saying to her. I don't read that crap, so I don't know what the fans say to her. I don't know what they're doing. But on one hand, she is right. Yeah, I mean, the truth is, you can't get in 300 fights a year. She's comparing it to being in a real fight. I don't know where the animosity in the comments stemmed from, but you can't really call it fake, because it's not really fake fighting, because the people can get hurt, so it's not really fake fighting. I wouldn't call it fake fighting. Yeah, no. You can't really call it fake.
Well, it's predetermined, yes. But when these guys are working together, anything can happen at any moment. People have gotten hit with things they're not supposed to. They've gotten caught in different things. Look, and I get that it's theater and it's entertainment, but it's still wrestling, and it still takes athleticism. Now, the point is that she pissed off fans, not so much about the fake stuff, is saying that it was the fans that pissed her off for the booing. Now, she should have taken that heat, honestly, because I think when she first came in and them having her as a babyface was the dumbest thing ever. She loves Roddy Piper, who was one of the biggest heels of all time.
Absolutely.
And even when they slightly turned babyface, he kind of was still a little on that gray side.
Yeah.
If she would have just came in as a bad guy and taken heat, she would have loved it just as much as anything, because that's your job. To get them people mad, to get them angry, to get them pissed off, to have them booing you, have them being upset at you. That's part of it. When you get that heat and you know it, you know you've done your job. You know you've done it right. Just like New Jack said, or any of those guys who are getting the heat, that when people want to attack you outside, if people are attacking you online or wherever it is, you've done your job because you did exactly what you were supposed to do.
But those guys, I think what it is those guys knew, though, when people like that came into it, they knew that that's what they were going to be, right? So they looked for anything they could do to draw that type of attention from the fan, right? You know, they wanted that bad attention. They wanted the boos. They wanted everything that came with that. She wanted. I don't think she wanted to be that, right? Well, but if you're gonna take that namesake and be that person, that's kind of who you got to be, man.
Yeah,
you gotta have the attitude. You gotta take the heat. Just take it, run with it, go with it. You quit because of the fans. I mean, it's whatever, man.
Well, I mean, just like towards the end of when she was doing things, when they stopped scripting her and just let her go, she was much better off just giving her bullet points and letting her go than when they scripted her. When she was starting to get boos and she started getting angry and started to be this outcast kind of, she was getting over in that direction, I thought, much better than the other way. But that's just me.
She should have just ran with it.
That they should have ran with it and kept the heat on her. Now, I know that she supposedly left because she wanted to have a baby, but they didn't ever have that baby. It's been a year. You know? So it's been a year. So, it's been over a year.
We don't know. I mean, I don't know why they didn't have a baby, but and I'm not going to speak to that. But what I can say is, they should have ran with it, or maybe they wanted to run with it, and she didn't want to run with it. It could have been that too, right? Maybe she didn't want to be that, and that's
and
that if that's not what she wants to do, then I guess on that end she doesn't have to do it. But then she doesn't have to. She doesn't have to insult. Like I get what she's saying. You're insulting. Real professional fighters. By saying that these guys are getting in the ring and they're wrestling. It's a real fight. We know it's not a fight. Okay. And every fan that watches it, that's a true fan that's entertained by it, that enjoys it, knows it's not a fight too. They understand it. It's theater, is what it is, right? That is a human soap opera at its ultimate level, right? But she didn't have to insult all those people that she had worked with, in the WWE,
and most of all,
right? Because they all took her in. They all accepted her. I'm sure there were a few, but, for the most part, it looked like she got accepted. They liked her. They helped her. They did whatever. And, for her to, step out and then, say something like that, that's, I didn't think that was the right way to go about it. But, but on the other hand, she's right. On the other hand, she's right, but I think this all goes back to if she's reading fan comments or, and she's getting bad comments from the fans or bad. If this is an angle and that's how they're playing it, right, then they're doing a great job, okay? But if this isn't an angle and there's no storyline here, then she's like a baby whining.
Yeah,
she's like a baby whining at Twitter comments, or Instagram or wherever she's seeing these comments.
Right now everything is Twitter and Instagram and all that other BS right now because we don't have anything going on, and she didn't come back during all this WrestleMania stuff.
Dude, there's nothing but trolls on those things.
Yeah. Well, that's not what I'm saying. Yeah. I'm saying that there's only stuff out on stuff like this right now because she was not in this WrestleMania. It was a year ago WrestleMania. She lost the title to Becky Lynch. It is now this time, and there was no sign of her around. They could have done something to make it angle. I think maybe she just opened her mouth and stuck her foot in it, and now it's just the way it is. I don't think they'll have her come back because of it, because it's going to take a while, because you got to realize fans are harsh, and even when people don't want to believe that the fans count, like honestly, I believe the WWE doesn't believe that fans count, just because the way things have been for probably about the last 2 years. They don't listen to fans. They don't do what fans have an interest when people start to blow up. So, but in this case, I think something like that would harm them more than it would do them any good at this moment, the way things are, just because they have to shoot all this stuff. They're doing all this stuff, and And they're still trying to shoot stuff now and trying to make which is ridiculous. Don't get your people sick. Don't get your people hurt. We all want wrestling to come back and everybody to be where they're at, or anything right now. UFC fights, football. We don't give a damn. We just want to see something other than another damn Tiger King. But other than that,
another damn Tiger King. But yeah, other than that, that's all it is. If that's really what it is, if it's not an angle that they're all working, as far as the company's going, right? Because it would actually, if you think about it, in a time where you can't really do much, right? You can't fill arenas, you can't do anything. Social media is where it's at, and that's a great storyline to play. However, if that's not what she's doing, if it's a real thing, she's got money, and I don't think she really cares if she comes back or not. She's always been that type of person. She's always been that FU type of person. So, at least that's how she portrays herself. We don't really know, but that's how she portrays herself. And if that's what she is, that's what she is, man.
Mm-hmm.
If it's cool to climb to the top, right? But don't, to me, it's like, don't forget about the people who helped you get there, because sometimes that comes back to get you.
Yes, it does. Now, but we also realize that she always wanted to play the bad guy in the UFC. She liked to talk the trash. She liked to push the people.
Yeah.
Then why did you want to play the bad guy in the other place?
Well, see, I don't know about that. That's weird that you say that, right? She always wanted to be the bad girl, the tough girl in the UFC, right? But on the other hand, she wanted the kids to look up to her. Remember all the kids, and then she'd go to things, they'd come in, they want autographs, and she wanted the kids to look up to her, and empowered females, empowered girls, and that's cool stuff right there. I have daughters, I get into that, man. That's cool. But in that world where you're at, right? You can get away with something like that in a fight sport. Okay, it's harder to get away with something like that in a character-oriented position. Does that make sense? Like,
yeah, but she wasn't playing. She was playing. I guess she was playing herself.
She was, but here's the thing. Here's the thing. In the UFC, she played both sides of the coin, right? Yeah, I'm the tough, bad girl, and I don't take any smack, and this is how I am, and I want you to be strong, right? And so all these girls looked up to her and all this stuff, right? That's what she wanted, kind of, right? Mm-hmm. Right? Well, she couldn't get that. She couldn't get both sides of the coin in the WWE, right? She couldn't have that attitude, be that way, right? And still have people, like her, because that's not the way professional wrestling is. It doesn't go that way, right? And I don't think that she liked that. She didn't like the fact that she couldn't, people. She didn't like the fact that she got booed rather than people cheering her. It's just kind of a weird deal. You know what I mean? It's
well, and I
she used to talk a lot of smack in the UFC, and then she'd win a fight, and everybody loved her.
But that's where it comes from, though. If you remember, she always loved professional wrestling. She loved Roddy Piper, Ric Flair,
right.
Hulk. They all were able to talk and be able to talk big to get people's attention.
Right.
So in that way, a lot of people like to be able to do that. You already have that. People know where you come from. You can. It's a character. It's a character for wrestling. You can be like, how many guys I've ever met or people said, "Oh my God, I hate." And they were the nicest person. The person that played the worst person ever was usually nicer than the guy that played the hero.
Yeah.
Even
wrestling, no, I understand what you're saying. Yeah.
And I've met lots of them. I'm a fan
that.
But some of them were complete jerks. Didn't care about. They were in and out in their 5 seconds. But then that guy that's the heel, the guy that was usually the coolest person to hang out with, one of the funniest people to hang. And like Sammy, I'll give you an example. AEW, Sammy Guevara. He's part of the Inner Circle. He plays the jerk. He's got this whacked out YouTube channel where he vlogs. Was one of the coolest people I ever meet. Gave me all the time in the world. I hung out with him for like 20, 30 minutes. He was cool as can be. But he plays this character who's an arrogant prick on TV, and that's who he is. But to the fans, he was cool as could be. One is one, and one is the other. You can do both and not have to be an ass. You can separate that.
He separated the two, and I don't know if she couldn't separate it or she just didn't like the fact that she was getting booed a lot. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. My point, my whole thing here is I get both sides of the coin of what she's saying. I just don't. I have to dig more into why she's saying it. Like, where's it coming from? Right. That's really all I want to know is like where does that come from? Like what spawned her to make that kind of a comment?
Well,
like,
what it is with her is when she's approached with something and she's angry, instead of thinking it out first, and then later go, damn, I shouldn't have said that. But for her being a public figure that she is, sometimes you have to take a little bit, swallow that pill, and sometimes it's best just not to say anything at all.
That's true. But at the end of the day, when you're a public figure like that, and you're her, she's gonna say something. Yeah. She's gonna say something, not just her, anybody. Anybody who's like her, has that type of personality. They're gonna do it. They're on top of the world. They're gonna say something. It's just the way that goes. But in either case, it doesn't really matter to me.
It's just something
I don't really watch a whole lot of WWE anymore. Anyway,
no, we're big. AEW fans, Ring of Honor fans, New Japan.
I love that stuff.
Any indie. We go around to a lot of the local promotions, SOAR, Metroplex Wrestling.
Cooler stuff, yes.
Yeah. Some MLW.
Shout out to Metroplex Wrestling, man. They re-aired one of their shows on Facebook today. I was watching a little bit of it.
It was really good. So there's a lot going on out there. So if you are a wrestling fan, or you just kind of want to jump in and give your 2 cents about what you think, I personally think it was a stupid move on her behalf to say anything at all. Because sometimes when people come at you, sometimes, just like Joe Rogan says, sometimes they don't read those comments because they don't care. So I'm not going to react to them. It doesn't matter to me because it doesn't affect me. Now, people want to go after somebody and say so-and-so did this or so-and-so did that. Go ahead and let them, because sometimes it's better to err on safety, because if you decide you want to do something, especially in that world, they can crush you. So leave a comment down below. Tell us what you think. Hit us up on Facebook, Twitter, our Instagram. Any of those things. Smash that subscribe button.
Smash it.
Yes. We have something going on. We're going to do something special coming out. All right. So we're going to do kind of a giveaway, and we're going to do something special for the fans when we hit our first 100 subscribers. All right. So if it's something that you want to know more about, please hit us up. Let us know what you think about what we're talking about. And
absolutely,
we will talk to you guys soon. I'm Lee.
I'm Fayaz.
And we're the Trauma Guys. Talk to you later.